What is up, you guys? Coming back, silly guy with a mask here with another video today. Today we are going to be talking about 10 J-dramas that I really like. Now, I wanted to talk about this because I have a hard time finding shows that I actually like in Japanese. And it's easy for me to find content, but I think it's really difficult to find something that I want to stay all the way through with and follow through, especially since it's so hard if you don't understand all of the language to actually sit through seasons of shows. That was something I struggled with. I think it has to be entertaining in a way visually that kind of grabs you. So I hope some of these do the trick for you guys, and you guys will enjoy these as well. Now, these are not going to be in any particular order. The reason for that is the genres are too different to kind of justify putting them in a ranking system, because ultimately, if you like one genre better than another, you're going to like the show better. So I don't want to recommend one and be like, boom, and then you're like, oh, Sudden, this sucks. That wouldn't be good. So we're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to go into just kind of a little, just kind of a list, and I'll talk about ones that I'll mention if I really like it. And yeah, hopefully you guys find one or two of these that you end up watching, you guys enjoy, and you guys can let me know below if you guys liked it. So let's get into it. The first one I want to talk about is a absolute banger, okay? This one is called The Naked Director. A lot of you guys might have heard about this. This is one that kind of picked up traction in the West and got really popular. I don't think not that popular, but I have heard non-Japanese learners and just kind of people in general talk about it, so it's definitely popular. And for the sake of simplicity, I will be mentioning them by their English names just so you guys can search them. I'll include the Japanese name though as well. And yeah, so first of all, this goes over the story of a man who was working sort of a boring job that he didn't like. He was a failed salesman. This goes over a pioneer in Japan's adult industry. We'll phrase it like that, I guess. This is a man who was basically a pioneer in the adult industry, and it goes through his story about how he was a failed salesperson and how he ended up getting into adult stuff. So it goes through, it's incredibly interesting, it's incredibly engaging. I think that, oh my god, the cinematography is so good. Like seriously, they try to go for a kind of, retro feel from the 80s, and they nailed it. Like it, as far as J-dramas go, if you really like visually pleasing stuff, you're not gonna find one better than this. Like seriously, it's really that good. The lighting is really good. The production is really good. The acting is so good. It's all around a really good time. And it also isn't afraid to be grungy where it needs to be grungy. There are parts of this that I thought were worse than other parts. Like there are some definitely low points in the series, but it always makes up for it. And it does a good job of balancing kind of very serious issues and very serious topics with comedy, and just kind of making it more, it does a good job balancing it out so you're not depressed all the time or, feeling one way or another. So I think it does a really great job of that, and it's just all around A+, love it. I highly recommend watching it. Some of the language might be a little bit more difficult, but I don't think it should be too hard. So I think if you get into it, you're gonna take something away from it. You're gonna learn something, and it's really cool. On to the next is another absolute banger, and this one is Alice in Borderland. Now, I know some people definitely don't like this as much as I think that I did, and it might be because, I don't know, maybe that genre wasn't worn out on me, because I hadn't watched Squid Games until after I had watched this. So that might be the reason, but I still think this is a really, really good show. I think it's worth the watch. I think the ending could have been better, and I'm definitely not going to spoil anything. I think the ending could have been better. I think some of the characters could have been more fleshed out, but overall it does a much better job, I think, than Squid Games at this type of genre, and I think it was really good. Definitely there's some Japanese, again, that might be a little bit tricky, especially when they're going over the rules of the games and stuff like that. You might get a little bit lost on that. But I think there is a lot of stuff you can learn from this, because I certainly did. And, if you're like me, you're going to be able to pull some stuff away from that. And it's just, I don't know, it's a fun one. It's engaging. It's really fun to look at, regardless if you're able to pick up everything or not. It kind of has a more serious story, and I like it. It's really fun. Now the next one is Midnight Diner. Now, you'd be pretty, I feel like this is kind of an initiation type of thing for most Japanese learners. I feel like you kind of have to watch Midnight Diner. So if you haven't, definitely give it a shot. I love it. It's got that typical J-drama kind of acting. Like, you're not gonna be blown away by the performances here. It kind of is really just, was a show that was on TV, and it feels rough around the edges here and there, and some of the stories are a little cheesy, but it's endearing, is what I can say. It's very endearing. It's very feel good. I think it does a good job capturing the certain aspects of life that just, it's certainly not going to be a blow you away with its story, but it's one of those that you'll definitely get addicted to. And I think you'll develop a lot of nostalgia around it, because I certainly do. I really liked Midnight Diner. I think if you haven't watched anything in Japanese, I think this might be a really good start for you, because it does a really good job of showing some of the, some of the food, some of the culture, and just it does a good job of being very understandable as well. I think you'll definitely be able to pick up on words, learn a ton of stuff from this. This one's definitely at the top of my list if somebody came up to me and asked what they should watch. Now the next one. This is one that I don't think many people know about, at least not in the learning community, and this is one that I really enjoyed. It's called The Way of the Hot and Spicy. Now, this one might be a little bit hard to find on streaming platforms. I couldn't find it. I had to certainly go to, let's call it more shadier websites in order to find a place, but this is a really good show if you can find it. It's kind of in that same, we'll be talking about a lot of these, but it's in that same, the genre of the salaryman that goes out and discovers some aspect of life. I don't know if that genre has a name, but this one's really good. And if you like spicy food, you're gonna like this one, because it kind of talks about a lot about, basically, there's a salesman. He's at work, and basically his team likes to go out and they like to eat spicy food. And he was really bad with spicy food, and he eventually starts warming up to it, and it ties into him becoming a better salesperson, with him getting over his kind of, dislike of spicy foods, and learning how there's like kind of, there's a lot of enjoyment to be had in spicy food. And it's a really interesting take on it. I think it's a really, really another one of those fun shows that's just, it's, again, not going to be like Alice in Borderland line story. It's not going to be like, The Naked Director. It's just going to be fun. It's going to be, you might find some stuff, like I said, just like Midnight Diner, where it might be a little endearing. And I think it has that feel-good aspect to it that you would really like. So if you're a food lover, like spicy foods, give this one a shot. All right, now the next one is the one that got me into this whole, people exploring stuff genre. I don't know what you would call it still. But this one's available on Netflix. This one is very easy to find, and it's another one of those things. It's about basically an older guy likes going out once he has retired, and he likes going out and, visiting places and trying their food and stuff, and he'll drink beer, and he's talking about how he's comparing it to how he feels like a samurai. I believe it was based off another show called Solitude Gourmet? Let me check on that. Yeah, the Solitary Gourmet, that's what it was. Yeah, so this one was based off of a manga that was from the Solitary Gourmet, which also got made into a show. But I believe the Samurai Gourmet is a direct inspiration off this one, but it's way more polished. So yeah, if you like this, like that whole genre that I just mentioned of like The Way in the Hot and Spicy, if you kind of liked, some of those food shows where they go out and they try stuff, this is the one for you. It's really good. It's the song at the end's a banger too. He did a really good job. I think he sang it himself, the main actor. And yeah, but if you like that feel goody kind of, going out, trying new food, just kind of learning to have a new outlook on life and enjoying things and just kind of taking it easy, this is another one. Super lighthearted, super just very lighthearted, very, feel good, that type of stuff. So on to our next one. All right, now the next one that's also kind of in that same vein is Kantoro, the Sweet Tooth Salaryman. Now this one's just, it's just like Samurai Gourmet and those kind of genres, but if you enjoyed those, you're going to enjoy this one. And this one's pretty much about a salaryman at work. He is addicted to sweets and just kind of eating desserts and stuff like that. So he sneaks out, and while he's doing his kind of, his actual job, he'll try to pick a time that he's free and try to sneak away to get some dessert during work. And meanwhile, his coworker is kind of obsessed with him, is trying to kind of catch him in the act and just catch the fact that he's a sweet tooth. And again, not gonna be like the first two in terms of just pure storyline and having an intense storyline or anything like that. It's not like that. It's just kind of like he enjoys desserts and stuff. This one was one that introduced me to a lot of Japanese desserts that I have since began to have a fondness for. And I think it does a really good job of kind of, it actually takes you to real places in Tokyo, I believe it is, that actually exist. So you can actually go to the places in the show. So it's, it's an actual kind of, there's some history in there around desserts, and there's some, it shows you some cooking and just some, it's really good. It's really good for language, especially. This one's not hard to understand at all, because it's not like they're going to be going into anything crazy complex. It's a little bit weird at times. It's very goofy. There's whenever he takes a bite of of his dessert, he just kind of starts going nuts, and it is fun to watch. And yeah, so that's going to be my final one. All right, now if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a like. It shows me that you guys want to watch more of this, and it encourages me to make more videos. And I definitely have more shows to talk about. So if you want me to talk about, I don't know, something like movies or animes, or do reviews on stuff, I would love to. So just kind of comment below what you guys think I should talk about next. And yeah, see you guys in the next video. Peace.